Today we are reviewing the exotic auto rifle Hardlight. Again, another classic. The exotic catalyst for Hardlight just started dropping yesterday with Arc Week, and you can receive this catalyst pretty much from any strike or nightfall. Now luckily for us, we will be reviewing this for both PC and for consoles, so shout out to Scrub on PC for letting us use his account, and for BFD on console for letting me use his account. Now first up guys, Hardlight is a 600 round per minute auto rifle. It comes with the intrinsic perk Volatile Light. Rounds fired from this weapon have no damage fall off. They also over-penetrate targets and ricochet off hard surfaces. Projectile damage increases after bounce. So when it actually ricochets off of hard surfaces and hits targets, I'm pretty sure it doubles the damage. Like, it's pretty nasty when you can actually hit targets off of that ricochet. Now the weapon trait itself is the fundamentals. Holding square or reload changes the weapon's damage type, cycling between solar, arc, and void. Very nasty for something like match game. And previously you actually had to go into the weapon and change the weapon damage type. Now you can just hold your reload button to actually change it on the fly, which is a really nice change here. Now the exotic catalyst, again, can drop anywhere from the strike playlist, and to fully masterwork this weapon, you do have to get 1,000 enemies defeated inside of PvE. But upon doing so, the weapon grants you a whole 25 stability. 25 stability, man, out of all the things Hardlight could have needed. This catalyst blows my mind, boys. Considering that by default, Hardlight has the best stability in the game amongst auto rifles, sitting at a whopping 82 stability, which that also blows my mind. You can only get up to 100 stability. So they gave us 25 stability here, even though we only need 18. But with this stability buff, is Hardlight a force to be reckoned with? For my console users and for people that use controllers, inside of Crucible, I would say Hardlight is not a reliable choice. Because despite maxing out the stability for Hardlight, the weapon itself, on a fundamental level, is just too difficult to control for controller users, and especially on console. That screen shake absolutely makes this weapon unmanageable in the mid-range. Can you get a kill? Sure, but you're gonna feel like you're inside of an earthquake. And despite the stability buff, yes, making the weapon a tad bit more level, the screen shake overall makes this a poor option for controller users. I wish that I could say it was better, but it's just not by much. And I'm not even talking about from the creativity standpoint. Obviously, Soros let me down because it lacked creativity. The Hardlight catalyst just oozes with laziness. There was absolutely nothing done here to aid its creative side. There could have been something here that aided those ricochet rounds, maybe allowed them to track, or just made Hardlight not have that awful screen shake. Considering that this auto rifle has no damage fall off, it could easily be a meta weapon and one of the only meta auto rifles. But that screen shake for controller users makes this an absolute no-go for majority of players. Now for PC users, is this a good option? Hardlight with the catalyst, I didn't really use it much before the catalyst, but with my experience last night with the catalyst on mouse and keyboard and PC, the weapon is definitely way more manageable. And even though there is some screen shake, you can easily tell it's not nearly as bad as it is for console users. So there was a lot of times, even in the mid-range, I was able to hang and keep up with those engagements. But a single shot from like an Ace of Spades or a Not Forgotten or a Luna's Howl immediately spun this auto rifle out of control. Hardlight, despite it being more manageable on PC, handles flinch very poorly. Now, other than how it handles flinch, I was enjoying my time with Hardlight on PC. Something to take note of about Hardlight, it does have a 0.8 second time to kill if you can land 9 crits in one body. It also hits harder than other 600 round per minute auto rifles at 23 per crit instead of 22. It does still hit the same body shot damage though at 14 per body. Needless to say, considering that this weapon doesn't have any damage fall off, Hardlight is in a position to be a deadly force to be reckoned with, specifically on PC. It just does a very poor job at handling flinch, and it still has screen shake, although much less than what you would experience on consoles. So overall guys, I was definitely more impressed with Hardlight on PC, but I am very unimpressed with this exotic catalyst. As disappointed as I was with Soros, I'm probably equally if not more disappointed with Hardlight. Is Hardlight still a good option in certain strikes whenever match game is present? Absolutely. But instead of these small little tweaks here in stats, I wish this exotic catalyst aided the identity of Hardlight more. Like, to me, another cool idea would be to allow Hardlight to actively shoot all 3 element types at the same time. It just sits there and cycles through all of them as you hold down the trigger. You can make it like a force setting or something. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that could have been done here to aid the practical use of Hardlight for those that are actually using it. So unfortunately, another miss by Bungie. Well guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of this. We're probably going to be doing Rat King next. Running kind of behind on these reviews, but we'll be jumping on them, boys. That one will be out probably later this evening, so I'll see you then. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.